Hi everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. I'm just trying to get resettled after the Woodstock Fruit Festival. Been a pretty rainy day here. Went to the gym as usual. Kind of nice to get back in the swing of that. Been catching up, been going through all my Woodstock photos, getting them into a folder on my computer, and just kind of cleaning things up a little bit. Need a couple more days to clean things up, and then I'll kind of be back to where I was. I've got a bunch going on, and I'm working on a blog post about the Woodstock Fruit Festival right now. But anyhow, this video is not about that one. This is about raw vegan nutrition, and I just wanted to talk about how I'm constantly learning on this lifestyle. I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now. Click on the little bell and check send notifications so you will stay subscribed to the channel. ABL, always be learning, always be learning, always be learning. You know, it's fun, it's nice. I got to talk, I had so many conversations last week at the Woodstock Fruit Festival, and I enjoyed talking to people about the process and like about, and finding people that actually could appreciate this and weren't so reactive and didn't have their minds, you know, like just totally, this is what I believe, this is how I eat, this is how I perceive the whole food thing. And you're not going to really penetrate that. If you've been watching my channel for some time, I hope you've picked up from that I'm not married to any ideas that I have. Well, there's a few. I am plant-based. I'm vegan for life. But other than that, how I do this lifestyle, I'm constantly taking in new data. So for me to, you know, that's why you don't hear me very often saying, always, I always, or I never, because I don't like to live in absolutes like that. You know, I can be swayed at any time. If somebody gives me a good argument with evidence to back it up, you know, I can change my information. Now, or at least I'll make a conscious decision, which is what a lot of people out there won't do. I was having a conversation in Messenger this morning with somebody about the nutritional issue that we were discussing. And I said, yeah, well, I'm going to look into it more. And I said outright, I said, just because I might find something that's contrary to what I want to hear, and I might not become fanatic and stop doing it or whatever, but it will definitely make me think, and then that will be my decision. I'm not the type that just like says, no, this is wrong just because I don't like it. Now, there's some things I'll flat out tell you, this may be not optimal to be eating, maybe not optimal to be doing, that I just say, okay, I know that, and it's limited, and I'll do it anyway with knowing the consequences. But I'm not going to try to put blinders on and just say, just because I enjoy doing it, that nope, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, which is what too many people do, in my opinion. Ever since I've been on this lifestyle, it's been a constant learning experience, you know, changing the way I think on certain things, you know, as new evidence presents itself. And I'm looking into a lot of stuff after Woodstock. You know, I told you I bought Don Bennett's book, and I'm really enjoying some of the information I'm getting from him. Plus, I didn't realize, you know, he has a whole website full of articles. Plus, as I do this too, you know, he's raw. He's very raw. I also like to balance any of the raw stuff and the people that I watch in the raw world, or that I read about, or that I'm getting information about in the raw world. I like to also counterbalance with watching and reading Dr. Greger, you know, kind of to see where things fall, and to just get different sides of things, and also to see where he falls on some of this. I will say I've kind of learned recently that he's not Dr. Greger's not a raw vegan. He's not totally on the raw thing, but he's very open and rational to that thought. And anyhow, he's like, if I do have gurus, Dr. Greger's always going to be one of them. Don Bennett, I got a lot of good information from him. Once again, I'm not going to become a disciple of anybody. As I've mentioned before many, many times, I use this little analogy. I like to think of myself as the raw vegan. I mean, of Bruce Lee of the raw vegan world, because I just take a little bit from here, a little bit from there. I use what I need. I discard what I don't, or I use what makes sense to me. I discard what doesn't, and I make the rest mine. You know, I put my spin on it. So I don't not listen to certain people just because they may fit into one category or another. one thing I'm learning, and not through Don and through a number of people, and I've been hearing this over and over and over, is about our like inadequate soil nutrition, which is producing subpar fruits and greens. Now, granted, I'm not eating organic. It's just not it's not on the menu for me right now where I am. And even with organic, there may not be some of the bad stuff that we would prefer not to see in our food, but it's still being grown probably in subpar minerals, which, and once again, I'm not going to ever get into the debate of supplementation versus not, but I'm totally open to supplementation. I supplement a B12. I use green powder, and I'm about to start using Daily Boost green powder, because I've seen some studies on it, and it seems to be in test grown in superior soil, which has more of the minerals and nutrition that our body is lacking. So I'm trying to start, I've been doing this lifestyle 5 years, a little over 5 years. I'm starting to fill in the holes because I don't take anything for granted. I want you to listen to this very closely. People that you may have been raw vegan for a number of years, or you're looking up to and listening to people that have been raw vegan for a number of years, but not decades. There are a lot of stories out there of raw foodists, raw vegans that are thriving. They're just all of us like preaching the message and all full of enthusiasm. For 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, there's a lot of raw vegans out there that I've seen. On that 7th and 8th year of doing it, the wheels fall off the bus, and some of the deficiencies in what they've been taking in start showing themselves. So just because you've been on this lifestyle for like 5 minutes and you're feeling good, or you think you're thriving, don't be sucked into that like you're set for life and you're going to always feel that way for life. It's a constant, there's a lot. This is our body. There's complicated systems going on here. So you're not going to go raw vegan and learn everything you need to know in general and about your body and learn your body in a year or two's time. It takes a while. So that's why, even though I feel amazing all the time, tons of energy all the time, good digestion all the time, I'm always trying to learn, and try to plug in those holes. And that's why, now I'm really looking into, doing this daily green boost and getting a little bit extra green supplementation. And by the daily green boost, that's barley grass juice powder in there. Because quite frankly, I think some of the, like, even if it's organic, some of the kale, some of the spinach is just a little bit suspect on its nutrient content out there. And also too, like I say, I don't go next level. I'm not like a next level researcher. And please don't give me like sometimes somebody will give me some little long nutritional comment in there. I don't have the attention span for that. So you don't have to explain greens to me. But and also too, I just don't know how well we digest this kale, even though I've had a ton of it today, and I'm going to keep continuing to eat kale because I like kale. Same with spinach, but I'm always like trying different things, tweaking it up a little bit. Another one I really want to look into is iodine, or iodine as Don would put it, the proper pronunciation, because that's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. You can't just necessarily say, well, I have good thyroid function, so my iodine is fine. It doesn't always work like that. And those are the things, I'm just kind of giving you examples of why I'm continuously doing my research. I can't explain that to you, but and the iodine's a big one. A lot of times we're not eating salt. Back around the turn of the 20th century, in the early 1900s, they had a lot of problems with, what was it, thyroid, and is it goiter when you have the thyroid issue? So they put it in salt. They put iodine in salt so people would get it. Now, most of us as raw vegans, we're not eating salt, and if we are, we're eating Himalayan salt or sea salt, which doesn't tend to have as much of that in there. So iodine deficiency can cause a lot of problems. So and once again, the people that are like, oh, we get everything we need, supplements aren't necessary, blah blah blah, that's up to you. I'm never going to argue with you. Just make that decision with open eyes and be good with that, because I don't want to have problems with an iodine issue. just the same as I don't want to have problems with the B12 issue. There's some other ones out there, but there's so much to learn. Like I say, right now I've got 3 websites that I could read for the next 5 years and still have plenty of reading to do. I'm reading Don Bennett's site. I'm constantly reading and listen. Well, his is more videos on Dr. Greger's site, and I can't think of the name of his right off the bat. And then Chris Kendall does a lot of really good videos on his site. I went to a talk by him. You know, Chris is kind of like me. He's a big kid. He's kind of a little bit goofy at times. And I went to a presentation that he did, and although I know he knows his knowledge, and I knew it was going to be interesting, and I knew it would be fact-based, the dude's really got a lot of knowledge. So I'm going to be kind of pouring through, his site and watching the videos that he has there. I've always kind of busted chops with him because he doesn't do enough YouTube, but I was really pleased to find out he had a lot of videos on there. So you got to do this. You got to do this for yourself. And I'm going to kind of finish with this train of thought. The reason I'm saying you've got to do this for yourself, and if you're not going to do this for yourself, then shut up when you have a problem. I get so tired of seeing people out there that want to jump on somebody that, like, this person did so and so to me because I listened to them and I did this. No. I take responsibility. Listen, I did some dumb things in the beginning, and I watched some people that, looking back on, that wasn't my best introduction to this lifestyle, but I've always owned it because I'm the one that makes the decision on anything that puts in my mouth. So don't ever like blame somebody else because of the condition of your body, because of what you put in your mouth. Be skeptical of everything, research everything on your own, and always have an open mind to any new information that you might receive. Anyhow, just my 2 cents worth on the subject and how I approach learning and researching on this raw vegan lifestyle. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.